Hello everyone, welcome to another update from the Avalanche ecosystem. Today I have another very special guest. I have Wilson from the MetaBrands team. Today we are going to be talking about MetaBrands, of course, and I'm quite excited about it. First things first, Wilson, welcome. Maybe give us a little intro to yourself.
Sure. Yes, man. So yeah, thanks for having me. Yes, it's a pleasure. So yeah, let's talk about MetaBrands and see everything you are doing, especially now coming to Avalanche. So yeah, guys, so a little bit about myself. So I've been in the crypto space since 2017. Everyone knows what happened at that time. So I've been in this space since then. And when all the DeFi stuff, all the DeFi activities happened, on Ethereum network. Then I saw the applications of smart contracts, so by that time I was like, yeah, I have to be like 100% on DeFi, which means like 6 months ago, I quit my day job and now I'm 100% in DeFi. Yeah, essentially I've been like interacting, using protocols and talking to people in this space. And this is the space, right? The space is about talking to people, interacting, trying to build stuff together. So yeah, and then I came to MetaBrands. Now I'm part of MetaBrands, working with the guys.
Yeah. So like I want to focus on MetaBrands for this video. Of course, I think you've also worked for Qt. It's also very interesting. But for today, we're focusing on MetaBrands. First of all, what's your role within MetaBrands, and like who are the other team members that you're working with?
Yes, so MetaBrands has a different structure of traditional business when you compare. So in MetaBrands, everyone is a DAO advisor. So which means like we don't have like a CEO or someone with a special, title or anything. So everyone has the same title. And now we have 12 DAO advisors. So, and what is nice about those all the people that's part of is that everyone has different skill sets. Like when you combine everyone, the 12 people that are part of MetaBrands as DAO advisors, they have more than 30 years of experience, in the blockchain space or the gaming space. So I think like it's very exciting when you see all the people that are part of the advisory board. And the cool thing about it is that it's a dynamic thing, which means, people can come, more people can come, and some people can go, depending on how busy they are. People doing different stuff, and sometimes they cannot contribute on the same level as other advisors. Of course, there are a few people that contribute more, right? And they spend more time on the day-to-day operations, you could say. And and that's me and some four other, actually half of the people do the day-to-day operations.
Cool. And do you want to shout anyone out specifically, or would you rather move on to because I think that's also what we're here for, about what MetaBrands is and what it does?
Yes, no, I think in terms of the team, essentially we try not to separate, different people based on different stuff they do, just because the contribution that everyone does, it's sort of on the same level when you look at, just because sometimes you see different people contribute on the gaming side, right? Giving us advice on all things what to do and, how we should interact and contribute with other projects. But to have also people on the technical side, right? It's not on the gaming side, but on the technical and development of the project. Right, so we have a few people that we're gonna announce soon for the technical side, especially for the technical one. But there are people focused on the metaverse. Joseph is one guy on the board, so he has quite nice experience. Adrian, they have quite nice experience running scholarships. I actually finished farms, and that's nice because that's MetaBrands is about. It's about the actual farm. I can go over specific now or what's MetaBrands, just because now
I think I'm already hearing all those gaming terms. We're already hearing the gaming terms, so let's get into it.
All it is. So MetaBrands is a Metaverse resource DAO. So as a DAO, of course, that's why we have 12 members, just because people contribute on different levels. But essentially what MetaBrands does is we interact with projects related to Metaverse and play to earn economy. So other play to earn games, as Axie Infinity is a good example of that, of course. So which means that we go and interact within those ecosystems. So buying, the schemes, the characters, the lands and all that, right? Then we acquire those assets and we try to see how those assets can be, interact inside of that ecosystem. Then we can rent out those assets to other players, especially for countries, with low income and people cannot afford to buy those assets. And we can rent out those assets and then they can play and earn much more what they earn, on the local country, local communities, those things. A good example now is Crabada, right? As you know, so Crabada, if you want to build a team, it's sort of expensive.
It is not cheap.
Yeah, it's not cheap, right? It's not cheap. So that's a good example. So MetaBrands can go, and acquire some of those assets, rent out to people that can, have the time, right? The value, and we want to value that time by, contributing not only with the what they earn inside the game, but also with Mage token, which is our token. This is the first aspect of MetaBrands, and you can quite compare to YGG, right? So YGG does, it's famous for that, of course, with Axis. And the second aspect about MetaBrand that I haven't mentioned is we have MetaBrand Ventures. So MetaBrand Ventures is where MetaBrands can incubate NFT projects, Metaverse project, of course, related to all that. So at the end, it's all related to Metaverse and NFT. Display to our economy that's growing, quite nicely, we have to say, especially now on Avalanche.
Yeah, and we're bullish with subnets coming on, of course, that because all those transactions clogging up a chain has been hampering some blockchains. So I think everyone is very excited for how far we can go with play to earn. So that's, I think, a great timing then for you to come on as well. I interrupted you a little bit, but I was also just curious. You're renting out the assets to players, for example. Are there other ways? Like, does the DAO also manage assets directly? Because I read in your white paper something about the trading or selling of NFTs as well.
Oh, yes. That's another aspect. So on the structure, when you see MetaBrand structure, so we have two tokens. We have ERC20 tokens, which are utility token. And we have also the NFT. So a cool thing about MetaBrands is that the profit, let's say the profit generated in a month, 70% of that is distributed to our NFT holders. The NFT is called Relics. So we have three type of relics, and of course, different type. They give us different access to the airdrop and also to the MetaBrand Ventures. Mm-hmm. So 70%, I think it's quite nice reward in a month, So all the activities that we generate, contribution that we have, inside of those different ecosystems, 70% of that's gonna go to the holders of the Relics NFT. And so when it comes to the selling part, or all the utility of the Mage token, so sometimes we're gonna have NFTs and we want to give us, if you have the Mage token, you can acquire those NFTs from the treasury. So MetaBrand treasures, you can acquire that with, a certain discount based on activities and contribution that you have. It's, because we have it's a DAO, so everyone has to vote when it comes to decide, hey, you're gonna sell this NFT or you're gonna acquire those NFTs. We might want to go to another ecosystem. So the DAO, because, all those people can see the value of those other ecosystems. And also the Relic holders, if you have a Relic NFT, you have a say on that as well. So which is quite nice, because you bring another experience to the DAO to be part of that. So the management of the assets goes through the DAO and goes also to everyone that has the Mage token, because they can vote as well. One Mage token is equal to one vote. Who has the people that has the relics, of course, the vote, the power of the votes is a little bit bigger. But everyone has a say on the management of the assets.
Awesome. And then how do you acquire those? Like, how do you acquire the Mage token? Do you buy it on an exchange? And how do you get the NFTs? Can people still mint those, or is there a limit?
Yeah, actually, there is no specific. The limit for the NFT for the relics is actually the Mage token. Okay, let me explain that a little bit because it's a different concept and a different structure. To be fair, I haven't seen anyone doing the way that we're doing. So, okay, let me explain that. We have three types of relics NFT. And so to acquire those relics, you need to sacrifice, or let's say you need to burn the Mage token. So the Mage token itself is very deflationary because, you just burn the token, you sacrifice. So the minimum is 25K or 25,000 Mage tokens if you want to acquire the lowest, let's call tier, right? The lowest tier, which is called Oracle. Mm-hmm. So for that, you need to burn the Mage token. You go acquire only swap. Since now we are on Avalanche, now we can go and acquire the Mage token on Pangolin. So the token is listed on Pangolin. I'll talk more about that later, just because we're collaborating with Pangolin and we're gonna have a dual farm soon. Yeah, I'll explain more that later. But as I said, we have those relics. You go to our website and you come with those tokens and you can mint NFT. That's one way to acquire, right? So you buy the Mage token, then you go and burn on the website to acquire that NFT. The second way to get the NFT is trying to buy it from someone else. Go to OpenSea, and you might find someone, or you give or you bid on someone to go acquire, the NFT directly on OpenSea. At the moment, the NFT are only on Ethereum network. Mm-hmm. And yeah, but we are on discussion, because of the fees and all that. We might bring, maybe everything on Avalanche as well, just because the speed and yeah.
I mean, we'd love to have you. Definitely. Yeah. One thing, because you mentioned, of course, that the NFTs they get airdrops and stuff as well, and they have like certain rights to the 70% of the revenue. Is it like tied to the NFT, or is it like airdrop straight into the wallet who holds the NFT? The reason I'm asking is if you bid on something on MetaMask and it's dropped just like claimable for the NFT holder, then maybe you also buy their tokens if they have not claimed it yet, or is it just airdrop directly to the wallet?
Is that the airdrop is directly to the wallet? If you have the relics, we just do a snapshot. If you have the relics, that's it.
That's it. Okay, it's simple for the user, but no sneaky opportunities on OpenSea then. yeah. If you want to, I can share the screen. I'm not 100% sure if that's enabled for you, but give it a shot. Okay, short break because I had to enable screen sharing. Back into the video. Wilson, take it away.
Yes. So I'm back to I'm showing the web page. We have the main page, of course. You go to MetaBrands, and you can see it. Everything about what we're doing, the people that are part of the DAO as well, and I mentioned here. Just going back to the NFT page. So if you go here, you're gonna see there we have the master, Oracle, and Archimage. So those are the three tiers, I'm gonna call it. And of course, to meet the, let's say, lowest one, you require 10,000 Mage token, and the highest one, is a little bit high, let's say. Mm-hmm. But of course, you have the option to upgrade. So let's say you acquire this one, you might say, I like the project, I like how things are going. You might want, I'm gonna acquire another 15, and I'm gonna upgrade. So there is this upgrade button, and you click here. It's gonna check on your wallet to have the necessary to upgrade. I think this is a nice feature.
Yeah, very convenient.
Yeah.
I love that. That's like the kind of utility that makes it so much more usable. I think it's
exactly.
like I love those small things that just make it useful.
That is quite nice. Of course, there is the option here, trade Mage tokens.
So
That's
we'll
written
there.
on unit, yeah, on Pangolin, on Uniswap, and then we're gonna upgrade here to add, of course, Pangolin as well.
I'm wearing a sweater actually.
Yeah, I saw that. That's quite nice, man. I need one.
They're really comfortable. Not sponsored. Not well. I mean, I got this for free, so maybe sponsored. I don't know. Anyway, let's maybe focus on MetaBrands again.
Yeah. So remember that I mentioned regarding the MetaBrand Ventures, right? So here people can see the actual the airdrop itself, right? What's the difference in terms of the airdrop? People can come here and read the white paper. It's quite extensive on the white paper, how we distribute those. But here for the airdrop, you see you get 5% bonus on the Oracle and the Archimage, Archimage a little bit more. And the MetaBrand Ventures is up here. You just click on Ventures, and then it's gonna give more details how it works and all that. Yeah, the allocation, how much in allocation you would get for different and relics.
Yeah, understood. Okay, that's really interesting because I also have a question written down, of course, on your investment strategy. So I want to skip forward to that one maybe, and then we'll visit the questions I had afterwards. What is the vision? Like, of course, it's play to earn, kind of yield generating assets. Like, how do you select, or how does the DAO select which assets qualify for MetaBrands Ventures?
Yeah, that's a good question. Actually, we have this question quite a bit on the Discord channel. Where is the whole conversation and interaction with the DAO members and everyone it happens on Discord. Just because Discord is the place where to keep things more structured and organized and all that. So when it comes to decide which assets we're gonna acquire, is more like it's a vote, of course. People have to vote to decide which asset we're gonna acquire. But the main thing is to check and see how the project is doing, not in the short term, but in the long term, because we cannot, go too much risk just because things are pumping. Everyone's excited about the project. We're trying to talk directly to the projects, to see that vision, not in the short-term way, but how do you guys, because we don't acquire the assets, and then we sell it, say, in 2 weeks or in a month or so. It doesn't make too much sense because we really want to use the asset inside of their ecosystem, right? And we want to bring more players to interact. So it has to be, we see in a way that it has to be a more close relationship with the actual game, because we want to elevate that game, right? And everyone knows we have more and more games coming. But what happens if there is no players? Because the players what keeps, the ecosystem, the game up and running, more exciting and more stuff. If you have the players, when the reward ends, when there is a new game and people just gonna move on to the next one. We know how DeFi is, we as DJ, we know how things work. If you have an incentive in another place, which is a little bit, it's higher than here, I'm gonna move over there. just because I'm a DJ. But that's the thing, right? The vesting criteria is quite high at the moment. The DAO, everyone has different vision. There is people running farm Axie Infinity. We had the plan, if you see our white paper, we had the plan to go to release the Axie Infinity farm with 1,000 players. But if you see Axie Infinity, what's going on, it doesn't make much sense to have a farm right now, just because if you look at the SLP price, it's like this, right? It's straight down. They have to change stuff. It's a very complicated mechanics. We know that to get the balance, between players, the inflationary aspect is not easy. We are aware, but we decide to stop a bit. We still want to release one, but not too big as it was planned. just a small one first, and see if you're gonna change, the game for that. Just one thing, we are talking about some games inside Avalanche ecosystem. We are seeing, it's seem more long term. Serious people building the game. We see that it has the potential for us. At least now, most of the DAO, they are looking to the project, checking, to have their own opinion about the game. Yeah. It's not easy actually to decide which one.
There are a lot of GameFi projects starting up indeed, and there is a lot of things to consider, I think.
It is. Yeah, for sure.
One thing that you said is very interesting to me. It's kind of like if MetaBrands Ventures is supporting your game, then basically you're already getting a player base with it. So it may be that's part of your value proposition, and it's a very good way to bootstrap. If you have a GameFi project, it's a great way to bootstrap if Meta Ventures is in.
Yeah, community, right? Community is everything, right? Of course, you want projects, they need money, of course, we know that, but the space has, it has advanced so much that now, hey, it's not just about the money. How can you contribute to our ecosystem at the end? Because money now it's everywhere on the space. But yeah, how can we help? We have a few things that we offer as a ventures. Let's call it that way. Of course, the capital is one, the community is one, which you can move the community and help to grow the ecosystem. At the end, we call it, hey, let's try to elevate the project. We don't see competition. No, we see, we collaborate and grow in the ecosystem. That's the thing. We need to grow the ecosystem. It's still quite small as a whole, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
So that's the community part, right? Grow and trying to help the project. We can also help on the development side if the project needs, sometimes project needs a smart contract for staking, more advanced features on the contract itself, maybe an NFT page, sometimes simple stuff, right? They need to find someone to do certain things, and MetaBrands can also support on the development side if the project needs is there. Yeah.
So real package, if you will.
Yeah, exactly. Also the relationship as well, right? Because we can connect the project to other partners. I think that's quite nice.
Yeah, just really offer more than only the money. I think that's amazing. And because you offer the players, you're also expected to be there long term. So I think it's a positive sign then.
Yeah.
I had this question noted down earlier. Of course, you're doing something a bit similar in a way as what Fief or Fief. I'm not sure how you're supposed to pronounce it. In my head, it's Fief, but I've heard people say Fief, and in a way that makes sense. So it's like how I always say Av instead of Ave. Apparently, it's like okay, fine, and never mind. That one's never gonna register here, but maybe there's a right way to say it. Fief and Colony are a bit similar. I think Colony is not so much play to earn focus, though it has done play to earn investments, which it then airdrops to community based on who holds their token. And Fief is also kind of like a treasury management for NFTs. I think you've spoken at least to Fief. How do you see yourself like differentiating, collaborating, competing with these projects?
Yes, that's a good question. I have to say, Fief in a way we are similar to Fief. That's for sure. We talked to the team the other day, and because we're trying to understand what's the value, right? Because we want to collaborate, as I said, we want to elevate everyone, that interact with MetaBrands. And Fief is acquiring the asset as well. So Fief goes and let's say Crabada or they acquire the assets. But what I think they are not doing is actually using the asset inside of the game, right? Let's say a scholarship. So far what I learned is that they're not planning to release scholarships inside of those games. Which is a different value proposition. the way that I understood so far is that they're going to acquire and maybe wait a bit, for the actual value of the asset to grow, have a treasury, and then at some time, strategically, sell those assets maybe with a discount for members, for people that they have the NFT, not the NFT, the token itself, with a discount, kind of similar to MetaBrands. So at the end, it's similar, not exactly the same thing, but the value proposition, in a way, we're trying to collaborate with them as well, because we want to elevate the project. And regarding Colony, as you said, the airdrop part, but there is one key thing different to Colony, actually. So, of course, Colony focus is more general, right? It's not specific to Metaverse projects, whatever project is coming to Avalanche, and they feel that project is going to add value to this whole DeFi, they can invest in the project. And they airdrop the actual token of that project for people that who stake that token. So MetaBrands, actually, the airdrop that we do is actually the Mage token. So we go to the open market, we acquire the Mage token, 70%, as I said before, we distribute to the Relic holders. Then 15% we put to the treasury, and 5% we just burn. We just burn the 5%. So adding, more aspect of deflationary.
More deflation, next to the NFTs.
And by the way, we have burned more than 2 million by now, if I'm not mistaken. I have to check. We have a bot on Twitter, and people can follow the bot. The bot posts, whoever do mint, you can see the bot is saying, hey, someone just burned certain, like a certain number of tokens. I can share that because it's quite nice if people want to.
Sure. You said the maximum supply was 100,000, but it's probably 100 million then or so. If they're already burned 2 million of them.
Yes. If you say, okay, if I put this bot, this is the bot. You can follow this bot on Twitter, and you see here. So burn. So this is a report. So you can see all the every time that someone meet. So here's one, right? So Mage Relic, 10,000 Mage sacrifice, so burn. Here's the actual value, in Ethereum, just for convenience. But also at the end of the day, you have like a summary, a report of what happened. So how many Mage relics are there, right? In the master oracle and the total, the number of owners. And so, as I said, by now we have burned more than 2 million Mage tokens. So
great.
Yes, the supply is getting,
it's deflating quick.
I think that's quite nice. And people can just follow these and, to be updated on whatever's going on there.
Cool. Another, we've already talked about, of course, you're currently on Uniswap. Mage is an ERC20 token. The NFTs are also mostly on OpenSea. Of course, you are coming to Avalanche right now. I think I also read you're going to BSC at the same time. Is that correct? What is
BSC is on the roadmap. High priority, of course, is Avalanche. We know, BSC. We have a lot of games, right? Like BSC. If you look at BSC, you have like so many play to earn games now. And I think it's quite nice, of course, but it's a bit harder for you to choose. If you want to choose which one you're gonna go, of course you can see the top ones based on activities inside of that game, and you could decide on that. So we put on the roadmap to also have a bridge on BSC. By the way, the MetaBrands is not. We call it, let's say, I'm not sure, blockchain agnostic. Blockchain agnostic in a sense that MetaBrands not attached a specific to any chain. Of course, we started in Ethereum for security reason at first, because Axie Infinity was already on Ethereum. This was the main reason, because we had planned, according to the white paper, to go to the Axie Infinity farm. And that was initially the idea. And then we decided, now things has changed quite a bit on the Axie Infinity side. And we need to focus on, since we had Avalanche and BSC on the roadmap, it was obvious to go to Avalanche, just because the time is right. We're growing, Avalanche is growing, and IVP on Avalanche. I'm biased when I talk to about Avalanche itself, actually, because I've been on Avalanche for quite some time, as you know. But yeah, it's blockchain agnostic.
So, like, what's the vision? Is MetaBrands gonna be in the end? It's nearly every chain that has GameFi and basically having scholarship programs on all of them. Is that the vision, or?
Yeah, that's one way to see it. Because if you have a cool Metaverse project, let's say on Solana, for instance, right? Because for us, it's not about the blockchain itself, like the network itself, but actually the activity inside of that project. Like Axie Infinity, right? It's another chain, but we go to where the activity is going on, where we see the value, the long-term value of the game. We know we have so many games, so many projects, and you can ask, hey, how many of those is gonna last? And I mean, for how long they're gonna last? You're gonna keep building on top of that, or they because you get flooded at some point, right? You have so many, and you don't have enough players coming to generate demand and to be playing, just because the incentives, most people go by the incentives, as we know. But we want to be sure that whatever project we interact with, the value is not short term. It has to be long term. We have to sort of see the vision of the team. Yeah.
Makes perfect sense. Yeah, and like you said, also around your investing strategy, it's for the long term. So that makes perfect sense to me. I'm already getting towards my closing questions, but I guess we've been talking for nearly 40 minutes. Of course, you're fairly new to Avalanche. How can the Avalanche community best get involved and be a part of the MetaBrands DAO?
Yeah, as you know, community is everything. We're trying. The thing now is we want to grow, of course, inside Avalanche and show the value of the project for more people, to know what it does, how it works, and all that. So at first, I know some people come to the channel and say, "Hey, it is a game project," because they see the name and they do the proper. They don't spend some time reading about what it is, and sometimes people get confused on that. So we, as a project, as any project, we need to have more awareness inside of Avalanche ecosystem for people to get to know what it is and come to see what the value proposition, and do some comparisons as you mentioned before. Hey, compare MetaBrands to Colony. How? Because it's kind of sort of the same, but what's the difference here? Colony has great value proposition. Fief, I think, same thing, has great value proposition. It's just more focused. MetaBrands is also focused, and it's about connecting community, right? Because Colony is adding value in a certain way, Fief adding value in a certain way. MetaBrands, it's in between as well. So everyone has, to me, the way that I see it, and also the team sees it the same way. Guys, we're trying to grow together, just because we are so early, and we have to add value to each other, right? And when we do that, the community can see, right? Can see certain bridge. Hey, yeah, I can go to Fief, right? I can go interact there and see how they are, and I can contribute. That's another aspect that I didn't mention. It's about people can see value on Fief, and they can say, hey, this could be interesting if you interact with MetaBrand on that specific way, just because you guys can add value together here, and you just make the community even stronger, right? It's about interacting with everyone and adding value to everyone community in a certain way.
Yeah, and in a way, it's great for decentralization.
Also, yes, I didn't mention that, but that's a key. Actually, that's a key thing, right? It has to be decentralized as much as we can. I'm afraid, of course, when things are centralized, when I interact with certain protocols, at least, okay, I'm a DJ, but sometimes I see, hey, if there is someone that has some control over it, I don't want to push it. I can put a little bit, but not much, just because I see the risk, we know how this space is. It's sort of dangerous for people that are quite new and don't know how to interact, and all the scams and rug pulls. That for us now is like it's just normal, and we know how to deal with. But for the new people, we have I think like an obligation to help those people. I have a community. I have a community called DeFi Nerds. So DeFi Nerds is a Telegram and Discord group, and the goal is, of course, to bring more people to DeFi, especially here in Brazil, just because how the economy is, and it sucks how the economy is. So we want to bring more people to this space, but we want to educate people at first, show what it is and how it works. So the DeFi Nerd community is doing exactly that. So we do daily chats inside of the Telegram group, just responding and showing to people, hey, be careful how to set up your wallet, right? What's things that you should be aware of.
What are red flags stuff? Yeah, cool. Is that in Portuguese or is it also in English?
Right now we have the group. The main group is in Portuguese, and now we decide, hey guys, we cannot keep things in Portuguese. We have what is interesting is we have some people inside of that group that speak only English, and they don't send the message in English sometimes. They do sometimes, and most of the time they send messages to me directly on the private, just to respond to certain things. But now we decide, hey, like guys, we need to move on this group to name English because it's getting too big now, and I think we're gonna add more value to the projects. That's a good. I didn't mention this just because we're talking about MetaBrands, but the community is trying to help on the marketing aspect for whatever projects that's interactive with the group and see that there is value. The group can help the project in a certain way. Hey, come here, show the project to us what it is. I want to learn more.
Amazing. If you want to send me the links to that, I'll be happy to drop them in the description as well. I think that sounds very interesting and definitely something that people who are new to DeFi could benefit a lot from. So if you'd want to do that, would be much appreciated.
Sure, man. Sure.
That was a little segue out of MetaBrands, which was the key focus for today. I have asked my final question, which was how can people get involved? Is there anything that you would still like to add, to share as a closing thought to the viewers?
I would say, guys, check it out. That's the thing, right? We cannot do recommendation of things or how to invest or none of that. But I would say, come see what the project is, try to see the value and ask questions, get to learn, about the project as much as you can, see if the value makes sense, right? Because when you put money into things, you have to check, hey, this makes sense for me, or, it's going to help the ecosystem in a certain way. Because for us, we want to help Avalanche ecosystem on the NFT side, let's say, on the Metaverse aspect, play to our economy. That's where MetaBrands want to help the whole ecosystem, right? To grow the TVL, of course, we want to grow the TVL, we want to bring more users. And that's the value proposition that MetaBrands is trying to have. We want to bring more users to Avalanche. We want to, grow the TVL even higher. And we would like to, at least me, I would like to see the AVAX price go even higher.
That would benefit me as well.
Everyone, right? Everyone.
Probably most of the people who view this video, yes.
Yes, man.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Well,
that's about it.
Wilson, thank you so much for coming on. And everybody at home who's watching, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope to see you in the next one. But for now, check out the links in the description to MetaBrands and your community. And yeah, hope to see you in the next one.
Yeah, appreciate it, guys. Thanks.
Bye-bye.